Welcome and hello. This is Transparency Talk, and I'm Christina. Today's guest is Angela Walker, the comedian who I've met a few times before, and I'm just happy to be here in this moment to share some space and time with her.
Hey.
Thank you. We were laughing earlier.
Yes.
We're going to laugh some more.
Okay, I'm
We
cool.
got the church fan.
I have the Ghanaian fan.
Ghanaian fan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Got the Holy Ghost.
I keep him.
So when I met you before, I met you at Fat Tuesday.
Correct.
And we went Facebook Live, and it was just energy. It was cool. Why comedy?
For me, like, how did I start comedy? Accidentally.
So you just tripped into it?
I tripped into it completely.
What were you doing before that?
Living, working. Basically, Michelle, Mom, they call her Mama Michelle Henderson, she's a comedian. She actually had asked me to do one of my poems, because I write poetry. And then the day before, she was like, oh no, we're switching it to comedy. And I was like, I don't know anything about comedy. She was like, it's everybody's first time going on stage. Whoever wins gets $100. I won.
Yeah.
So then the next time I was on stage was with Nanette, Fat Tuesday.
Yes.
And that was and they actually put me on. I didn't realize this, that sometimes they'll put weak people on so then it could tease them or whatever. So I thought, and I had an amazing set.
Was that the night I met you?
No, that was like back in 2006.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
you were funny.
So that was the first time I did it was. So the second time on stage was actually Fat Tuesday. So I think it gave me fortitude because the crowd either loves you or hates you. When they hate you, they hate you.
Like Showtime at the Apollo.
Yes,
yeah,
but if they love you, they give you so much love. So I developed my craft under Nanette with Fat Tuesday. Like every other Tuesday I would go.
I'm feeling some Jill Scott going on.
I know
you.
people say I look like I favor her. My
Can you sing?
Not at all.
Then don't.
No, I'm not going. But like it's so funny. Our birthdays are around the same and we're around the same age.
You and Jill Scott.
Yeah.
Jilly from Philly, Jill Scott.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she's the only child, and I have 15 brothers and sisters.
You have how many brothers and sisters?
My mother had 9 girls and 6 boys.
And you're number
6.
Okay.
And I have a half sister.
You have a half sister.
On my dad's side before us.
Big family.
Yeah.
So do you cook for everybody, or they cook for you? Y'all get together?
Thanksgiving, like holidays, yeah. I'm a cooker. I'm over it though, because I raised my little brothers and sisters. I raised over 7 kids.
So what else aside from comedy? Are you an author? I mean, you said poetry.
Well, I do write poetry, but I just work full time and I love my children. I have a 23-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
And are we done?
We should be. I'm knocking on 50.
Really?
Yes.
The golden year. What are your plans? You traveling?
I'm just trying to get more seasoned and polished and more recognized in the comedy game.
Who are your 2 top favorite female comedians?
My mother. She wasn't ever actually on the stage, but she was hilarious.
Really?
I don't necessarily have a favorite, to be honest.
What about
I think
the men?
Even with the men. Like when growing up, we weren't allowed to listen to, like we could listen to Bill Cosby and Sinbad and Steve Martin. Like,
what about acting? You think you gotta
I
possibly act?
have acted. I've done some plays and stuff like that. But I'm always characters, like old ladies or
Old ladies.
yeah. Most of the time, people don't even realize that's me.
Because all the hair and the makeup.
Hair, makeup, voice is not the same. Change your voice, everything.
So you got a full family, got kids,
Yeah.
comedy. What do you do in your downtime?
What is that?
You don't have Do moms have that?
This is my downtime.
Like
right
your
now.
hideaway. There's no hideaway, there's no getaway, there's no takeaways. You
The
just
tub.
the tub.
Mhm.
So a long, relaxing bath.
Yeah.
With some music, candles, or just
No,
water.
Just me and God.
Do you meditate a lot, pray a lot?
I don't know if that's what it is. I just have a relationship with God and just understanding and my understanding with Him, you know. And I just talk to people that I miss, talk to myself, give myself encouragement. So it's just kind of like, you know.
And I know, and no offense,
Yeah.
you've seen, I know sometimes people say something and they don't mean to offend. You just
Yeah.
seem really artsy.
Yeah, no, I'm not offended.
Okay.
There's nothing anybody can say that could offend me because that's your opinion. It's not my life. So if that's what you think of me, that's you. It's not me.
Like artsy, so I
Really?
just feel, yeah. I mean, I love it. I love the hair, the glasses.
So I keep in mind, like the hair, I never had perm. We weren't allowed to have perms. Like, so I think like my mom, like I said, she was like the first black to graduate from McKinney High School. Like we were the first blacks to live on the white side. So I just think that my mom, she was a way above her time. Like we did apple cider vinegar, garlic. We did a lot of holistic stuff. We listened to Lucifer and Connor in the morning, then we go to Bible school. Like, you know, she brought in the heart. So it wasn't, I think she just gave us the opportunity to see things outside of the norm.
And it kept you grounded. It kept you humble.
Yeah, I don't think, I always knew like the humble part. I just think like, you're supposed to treat everybody like you would like to be treated. Mm-hmm. And that's just life. There's nobody that's better than you, and you're not better than anyone else. So treat everyone from the cook to the maitre d' to the top person, the CEO. You treat everybody the same.
Common courtesy.
Common courtesy, and common courtesy is not common at all.
Just like common sense.
Oh, that is relevant. that I don't
Another
even
conversation.
That's all. And be careful. Like right now, they are. I think like with the world, like our age group is probably like the last age group that we got to see life before the internet. You know, like really in depth. And after, they're not worried about us. They're worried about our children. So just keep that in mind. Like, make sure that you like don't let the TV or the internet raise them. You raise them.
Or even the video games.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Kids shouldn't. There should be downtime. They should go outside. Let your kid go outside. It's okay. Let them go outside. Let them feel life. Feel it. I'm just an advocate of that. I just think that sometimes we forget that, you know, when we're gone, because the images and stuff. I watched a cartoon the other day, and it was a squirrel humping a dog.
Oh.
So they're putting stuff in, even when we don't expect it, in children's cartoons. So just be mindful.
And it's really been that way when we look back, like at Barney and all these other, you know.
Well, some
movies.
of them, like some of the things was
SpongeBob.
Like, do he have some innuendos? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. So but the thing about it is like, I stay mindful. So if my son does ask me something about that, I'll explain it. But just acting like it doesn't exist. These kids are smarter than we give them credit for.
And that's the bad part sometimes. We want to shield them and protect them, but we have to learn how to talk to them. If they're developmental stage, if you 5 and you ask something, let's talk about it, how you understand it. What is something that you want to do that you haven't done?
Something I want to do that I haven't done.
It could be anything.
That's a good question. I just feel like God directs me. You know what I'm saying? There's things that, something I thought that I would never do is find love, and I'm finding it. I've been introduced to it.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Good.
Yeah, so, but it's not my completion. It's an addition. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Because people say, oh, I got married and he completes me. No, he adds to you. You're a whole person.
Yeah. And that's how I feel. Like, it's interesting. And I'm never thought of it. And I'm appreciative of it. So that's different. But as
that's
far
all
as,
happiness. It's like,
yeah.
You know,
but
people
also
don't say that. They don't say I appreciate love. They say, oh, you know.
One thing about happiness is people don't realize you don't pursue happiness. You are happiness. You are what you create.
That part.
If you're chasing a man, chasing things, it's not you, right? So it's not, and you forget your purpose.
Eartha Kitt. I don't know if
I've watched, I
when
love
she
her.
had the video and she was like, compromise for what?
But she was on another level. But the thing about it is like she refused to compromise. You do have to sometimes it's not even a compromise. You just have to accept somebody for who and what they are. But they have to do the same for you.
I mean, there's like a thin line with that though.
Why?
Because
if I'm
I'm gonna accept you, but not certain behaviors.
Yeah, no, okay, so like I have a cousin, like back in the day, he was a drug, he was a Crip drug dealer. I accept him for who he is. I didn't like parts of his life.
Right.
But
well,
did
like God,
Huh?
God loves
Right.
the sinner, not the sin.
Right. So why would I? That's what I'm saying. That's why. But if you're saying, oh, this part of you I can't accept, then you throw the whole baby with the bathwater. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay though.
I just had a D.L. Hoogie moment. He said, "Baby with the bathwater."
Yeah.
He tells this joke about one of the presidents, and if you have somebody like that, you drown them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, to me,
throw baby away.
Yeah, but to me, that's the whole thing. Like,
yeah.
I think sometimes we forget that even where you are now, you were not like that 10 years ago. There's things about you that if you met you now and then met yourself 10 years ago, you might not even like you. You know what I'm saying?
I would like me.
I'm saying there's parts
there's
about
some things
you
you want to change.
Yeah, there was parts of you. So, so do you deny yourself or mistreat yourself because of the parts that are not ready?
Right.
Yeah. And if sometimes people are not ready to be who they are or what they can accept, that's okay. You just step back from them, and when they're ready, they're ready.
Do you have a favorite quote or author?
My favorite quote.
It could be biblical. It could be Maya Angelou. It could be.
I do love me some Maya Angelou. My mom used to say, I mean, to think about it, like, there's so many in my head, but at the end of the day, I think mainly just all of them that I've ever just adored and loved is just purpose. Anything in reference to purpose, and just knowing that you are here for a reason. This world, even the spark, the very beginning of time, was intentional by the Creator. So if you realize you have a purpose, even if you don't know what it is, but you're in pursuit of it, that makes it makes a difference. Mm-hmm. So anything in reference to purpose, I just adore. Yeah.
What's your favorite color? Because I'm seeing natural.
I love all colors. I used to love the rainbow, but then they took over the rainbow.
They took over.
But I'm a '70s baby, like so.
Let's not talk about the '70s. We're gonna get into some music now.
Yeah, I'm a '70s baby. I'm a '73 baby.
So give me your favorite artist from the '70s or group from the '70s.
Marvin. Dang.
Marvin Gaye.
No, you know what? Al Green.
Love and happiness.
Yes. I don't know. Dang, girl, God, it's a lot. I don't know.
You gotta pick one.
No,
my son has.
Like that's the whole thing. She said you gotta.
Yeah,
you
because
don't
my
have
son.
to.
Well, you don't have to pick one.
Yeah.
But in that moment, my son said, "Mom, if you had a ticket to see Prince or Rick James," I was like, "What? Who asked that question?"
I just got to go to Prince's house. Paisley Park.
The purple one.
Paisley Park.
How was that?
It was, to be honest, I was blessed to be in the presence of his, of like all his everything about him. But they had a tour, and he was speaking, and then he was just saying how this facility he had made is actually his home. He turned it into his home, but it was actually he had like recording everything, and he was just saying that it was for the art, it was for creation. Yeah. And then I'm looking around and seeing how the city took over his property, and they were making money, and the very purpose of the creation of this place was being denied.
Capitalism.
Yeah. And the very thing he fought against, and how he changed his name, it's almost like
to a symbol.
Yeah, but he did that because so that he could get out of the contracts. So they were mad at him. Just think, for them to have opportunity to get him back after death. So there was a part of me that was like, like I didn't like that, but I could appreciate the essence of everything, and you could just feel.
Are you an activist?
Activist as far as what?
How you just mentioned things that upset you about changing the dynamic of what we fight for, like social justice.
Yeah, I mean, but I probably don't match stuff. Like, I'm not like the Black Lives Matter type when they had those campaigns. Those weren't really for us.
Yeah.
They were, and then when you think about it, who made money from Black Lives Matter?
We didn't.
We did not. Even right now, like seriously, like even like Juneteenth is tomorrow.
Yes.
And who's making money from Juneteenth? Like if there's a Juneteenth shirt or a product or something,
buy it from a black owned
business. And I even posted it, like buy it from
yeah.
a black owned business. You know what I'm saying? Because the audacity that we're celebrating the fact that we were kept enslaved for 3 years after the rest of the states.
Yeah, there's so many theories about that. I think we knew, or not we as us, we weren't here, but they knew. They just decided when they chose to tell. And that could be a theory too, but
yeah. But at the end, like I went to the University of Tulsa, so I met a woman that was was a part of the Black Wall Street, and
wow,
yeah, it's sad because like we are so amazing, but we don't know it.
And it's the whole like with Harry Tubman.
Yeah,
I would have been able to free more if they knew they were slaves.
Exactly.
And so
exactly. So I mean, and so the thing about it is, I think as far as activists, I think that for myself, I stand within myself, and I talk the talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just like when someone says they're a Christian, right? But I see you doing everything that you're not supposed to be doing.
Well, hold on.
No, I'm just giving you an example. Or
okay.
if you're Muslim, or
right.
like a Muslim and you're eating
eat pork. Right.
You know, or like you're doing things outside. So people, you're saying you're one thing and speaking
of the
life,
standard,
and you're not speaking life into that.
Set the standard.
Yeah. So yeah. I try to set that for myself.
And that's
religion
is. In religion, it gets kind of tricky sometimes. That's why I tell people, well, that's why they have the separation of church and state. But even in religion, you know, they have these different levels of Christianity.
Yeah.
You know, and then they say, oh, the oppressor. Well, it's white Christianity, black Christianity. The thing is, if you believe in Christ and you know certain things you shouldn't do, and you have a conscience.
Right.
About your conscience and what you choose to do, you know. Because people do what they do. But then if you're doing a behavior and it's affecting and hurting other people and you don't feel anything about that, then that's wrong.
But when I stated like, or even like, there's so many things I've seen where someone claims to be something, but then I watch you. The best thing you can do is be silent and just listen and watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I'm watching you, so that I expect that for myself. I'm a reflection of myself. So if I look in the mirror and I say, Angela, how are you carrying yourself?
Right.
Like, if your children knew you were doing this, or could you stand with it? And there's stuff I do, and I'm like, yeah, I did it. You know, I'm not gonna disown it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean by that. Like when you say you're one thing, and then you live another life.
Right. Don't put on a facade.
Right. So and so people that are on the outside, and you know, my granddad's, like I have a lot of preachers in my family, but my grandfather used to say,
all right, come on, sister.
But my grandfather
preach.
My grandfather used to say it was so simple. He was like, sometimes some of the most complicated things, he made it so simple.
Yeah. If
you are walking the walk, that's how you lead.
Right.
That's how people follow. So even like anybody that's a leader that is a king, and he never goes in the battlefield with his soldiers. He never goes with his people. That king will get overthrown. If there's a king that goes and he fights with his side by side with his warriors, he goes into his kingdom and is with the people, that he's living his life by example.
Right.
So that's how you should do. Like, so if you,
what about us, the queen? What we doing?
Even as a mother, like even like you know, a mother, a sister, a friend. If I'm your sister, why would I step behind you and do something foul?
Fight with me.
Fight with me, not against me.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just simple stuff. Like if I see a beautiful, I will tell you this now. I'm guilty of this. If I see a beautiful sister, I was like, hey sister, beautiful dress. I think even when I met you, every time I've seen you, I always say, hey, I like your eyes. I like you. I will compliment. I'm not gonna take away from someone else's beauty.
You just have great energy. Because even like I said, the first time I met you, I was like, I'm here with, and I was like, I just would lie with her. And most people are like, I'm tired. You were just very approachable, you know.
And so funny, like people say I'm approachable, and I think I'm so odd around people.
No, you're amazing.
I think I'm odd
because your energy, like you said, the spark. Everybody's different in their light. And you shine your way. And it's different because, of course, no comparison. Like sometimes people say I look like somebody because of my hair.
Right.
And like I was like, oh, I'm feeling Jill Scott. I'm feeling, you know, because when you got up there, I was like, she about to get that. When you had the microphone, I was like, she about to be like.
And I did a little bit, yeah.
I was all right. I was really, you know, the hair, and I was just like.
It's so funny though because like I swear it's kind of odd with her now because somebody will send something or take and do it side by side and we have some similar stuff going on. I don't know.
Tell me one thing that you would tell maybe other comics, comedian women who
Female comics or just other women?
know what they should do, what they shouldn't do.
Don't compromise who you are. Like, and the thing about it is this industry it's not built for us. But just because something's not built for you doesn't mean you can't make your own shape. You know what I'm saying? So
you don't have to really fit in. But
yeah, and if you don't fit in, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just make your own money. That's what I'm learning. Is I used to get so frustrated that, you know, I could be right there with the big boys and same amount of energy, same amount of comedy, and would get paid less, get treated less, and because I'm a female. And so that's my new mantra right now, is that I tell myself, even when I made a thing and it's just focus on the funny. Don't worry about my age, don't worry about what color I am, don't worry about my size, just focus on the funny.
I like that. Focus on the funny. Yeah. Should you put that on the shirt?
I think I should.
And I'll buy one.
Yes, I got
So right now it's been, what do you call it? Trademark, marketed.
Yeah, right now I'm doing
it's a ninja.
It's a ninja.
It's a ninja.
It's a black ninja with an afro, and she says it says focus on the funny. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Like I've never. I don't. I'm a. What's the word?
Are you an introvert? Are you quiet, kind of kept? Not when you on that stage, you're not.
I think I'm a social introvert. I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like when I'm out, I can. If you notice, I don't speak to people until they speak to me.
No, you don't. But that's because I when I see you do that, I'm like, she's focused on her craft.
No, I just don't know. Yeah, it's not even that. When people speak to me, I speak to them.
I'm glad you're speaking to me.
But if nobody spoke to me, I would just be sitting in the corner. And I'm content and cool with that. But keep in mind, I'm from a big family. Yeah. So I think,
I like peace of mind. He needs a peace of mind.
I like peace. So, I would go, my mom knew that about me. She knew I would go sit in the car and be by myself.
Oh, so then I'm okay doing that. When I've seen a lot of posts that people are saying, I sit in my car for 30 minutes and you stop that. No, don't stop that.
No, don't stop that.
That's your peace.
And plus, like even coming from work or whatever, you need to have that moment, the disconnect, to separate yourself from work, to get yourself grounded for your family. So I sit in the car sometimes just then I go in and I'm
decompress.
Yeah, decompress. Yeah, it's so important. And don't forget I will say this, I think be kind to yourself. I think some of the things that we say to ourselves, to self, you wouldn't say that to somebody else. So why would you disrespect yourself? Well, I'm saying, why would you disrespect yourself? You know,
be good to yourself.
Be nice
to
yourself. Be kind. You know, it's okay. Even if you make a mistake, just don't be.
Don't keep doing it because then it's a mistake.
Yeah, but don't just tear yourself down. It's okay. You did it. Move on.
I really appreciate you talking to me
I appreciate
today.
you. I'm so you got me all giddy and stuff.
Oh, thank you. So
yes.
There y'all have it. Stay tuned. Transparency Talk.